Hello everybody and welcome to Intrigue and Love, or Love and Intrigue, or Love and Politics, how it is also called, but really there isn't too much love in the play, they only think so. Today's cast are Louise Miller, 16 years old, pretty, clever, but unfortunately in love with this guy, Major Ferdinand von Walter, who has come to the Miller's house in order to learn to play the flute. Yes, that's right, he's a major in the army and wants to take flute lessons with him, town musician Miller, Louise's father who has no other children but a wife, Mrs. Miller, who loves to drink coffee and somewhat resembles the mother of the Flodders. You know the Flodders? Well, anyway. Then there's Ferdinand's father, President von Walter, the head of government in the little German country the play is set in, which is to say he's the prince's right hand, whose left hand is usually caressed by Lady Milford, the official mistress who actually stems from England. Furthermore, there's Wurm, the president's spineless and slightly icky secretary, and finally there's Hofmarschall von Kalb. Something like the Lord Chamberlain at the Duke's court, who has considerable talents as a drama queen. And of course there's some servants and policemen and so on. Schiller writes his play between 1782 and 1784, and this is also when the play is set. So there's a lot of Sturm und Drang going on in the Miller's house. Here Mum is sitting on the sofa, drinking coffee, her favorite occupation, while Dad is having his 5 minutes. This is not going to turn out all right. I'm throwing the Major out of the house. And who's going to pay for my coffee? This is about your daughter's soul, and all you're thinking about is coffee. When Wurm enters. Grüß Gott, Mrs. Miller. Grüß Gott, Mr. Miller. Excuse me, I just wanted to ask when I can pick up and marry your daughter as agreed. And Mrs. Miller says, what? No, my daughter is going to be a lady one day. Mr. Miller, we've got a deal. Ha, you'd like that, huh? Wouldn't you? Asking the father for help if you can't get along with the daughter. What? Well, And he storms out and Louise enters. Has he been here? Who, my child? Well, who do you think? And Dad approaches and says, Lulu, there's no chance this is going to work out with Ferdinand. Yeah, I know, but not in this world, maybe in heaven. And he goes, oh my God. Yeah, exactly. When Ferdinand enters. You're pale, Louise. How about getting a little tan in the solarium? You're such a gentleman. Does my Louise still love me? Yes, but we are being separated. We're separated? What? Yes, because you're rich and noble and I'm just young and beautiful. It's your fault if I get all unhappy. And she rushes off and he follows her. But Louise... And Father Miller shakes his head. This is not going to turn out all right. Funnily, the president is also shaking his head in his office going, I don't believe it. And Wurm says, yes, he's completely fallen for her. Ah, nonsense, he's just having a little fun. No, he wants to marry her. No way. Ferdinand is to marry Lady Milford. I'll tell him now and we'll see how he reacts. When Kalb enters going, good morning, President dear. Good morning, Kalb. How good you are here. My Ferdinand is going to marry Lady Milford. What? Yes. Wow, I need to post that right away. And he's off again and Ferdinand enters. You've sent for me, Father? That's right. Come here, Ferdy. I've good news for you. You're going to marry Lady Milford. No, please not, on account of my honour and she being a mistress. Very well, then you're going to marry Countess Ostheim. What? No, because... Because, young man, you've got another one, you liar. This is going to stop instantly. You will report to Lady Milford immediately and propose to her. Understood? Yeah. Attention. Yeah. Stand off. Lady Milford is a little pissed, probably because the Duke is going to chuck her out as a mistress when a servant enters. Milady, the Duke sends diamonds. And she says, wow, they must have been expensive. No, they didn't cost a thing. What? They were paid for by 7,000 soldiers raised by forced recruitment who were sent to America yesterday. My sons were among them. Have fun. And she goes, no, take this stuff with you. I won't touch it. When Ferdinand enters, Grüß Gott, I'm ordered to marry you. Ordered? Believe it or not, I don't want a woman of your profession. The impudence! I was an orphan and worked my way up. I've robbed the rich and protected the poor. That's how it is. Well, in that case, I find you quite sexy for a 30-year-old. Yes, me too. You, I mean... Yeah, but we still can't marry because I've got another relationship. Oh, really? At the Miller's place, nothing has changed much since we last visited. Mum's having coffee, Louise is waiting, and Dad's worrying. We are in trouble. We are so in trouble. When Ferdy enters, going, has my father been here? Why? Because I'm to marry Lady Milford. And Louise goes, well, congratulations. Are you mad? I'd never do that. You're the only one I love. When the president himself enters, saying, hi all. Father, mother, you gotta be the daughter, right? Yeah. So did my son always pay you decently? I'm sorry, you've lost me there. Or is this your little hobby? What? The impertinence! And Miller goes, with all due respect, sir, I'm not standing for insults. Get out. And he says, what? That was just my opinion. Ah, your opinion, right. Police! And the police enters. arrest the daughter. But Ferdinand steps in, saying, "No, father, if you touch Louise, I'll tell the town the story of how to get president." Obviously, the president has murdered his way up. You're such a poor sport." So he marches off and is a little disappointed. That didn't go as planned. What to do now? And Wurm replies, "Listen, your son's probably really jealous, isn't he? So what? Lulu is so boring, I bet she's faithful. I've got a diabolical plan there. You get the Hofmarschall von Kalb to play along, I'll see to Louise, right? Okay." And there comes Kalb. Now, isn't that a pity, Kalb? Ferdinand doesn't want to marry Lady Milford. Shit, I've told everybody already. Yes, and your career is done for too, except if what? Except you pretend to be Louise's lover. Well, it's an effort, but I'll do it. At the miller's place, only Louise and Ferdinand are present, but not in the mood for romance. And he goes, "We've got to flee, Louise. We've got to go away right now. And my parents?" "We're going to take them along. And your father? Don't be silly. It's him we're fleeing from." Right, yeah. What I mean is, you've got to get along with your parents." Humbug. And absent-mindedly he kills a violin and goes, Why don't you want to flee, Louise? You got another guy?" "No, I don't have another guy." "Yes, you do. I'm jealous." And off he walks. Louise looks around. "Where's my parents?" Wurm enters. "Good evening." Do you always have to frighten me this way? By the way, your parents are in prison. If you want them back, you'll have to write a letter. Any letter? No, I'll dictate the letter. You write. Agreed? Well, okay, let me just get a table and get ready. Okay. All right. "We fooled Ferdinand brilliantly. Stop. I'm so horny for you. Stop. With lots of love, Louise. Stop. And who's this for?" "Hofmarschall von Kalb. And now you swear never to tell anyone." "Okay, I'll swear." At the president's place, Ferdinand is waiting a little later with a letter in hand. The Hofmarschall enters and he goes, "Is this letter from Louise to you?" "Oops, yes." "Very well then, I demand satisfaction. Here's pistols." That's quite inconvenient at the moment." "Shut up and shoot. Here." "Okay, what distance?" "Distance? We take a handkerchief at opposite ends and shoot each other in the face. This way you won't miss." "What? No, that's far too bloody for my taste. Here, this is all a hoax. Mercy!" And he runs away and Ferdinand goes, "Well, at least I didn't have to waste a bullet for him." Then his father enters and Ferdinand says, "Dad, I'm so sorry. I was so wrong about Louise and you were so right." But the president says, "No, boy, I was wrong and you may marry her now." "What? No!" Lady Milford has ordered Louise to her place, who turns up and goes, "Milady." So you're the middle-class girl who has to work for a living. You want to become my chambermaid?" Sorry, me? For you?" "No, I'm a decent girl." "So I'm indecent or what?" "I didn't say that." "You are lost, Louise." "Yes, I am. The moment you make Ferdinand love yourself." "Right, okay, very well, Louise. This round of mud wrestling goes to you, and I'll leave the country this instant." Well, thank goodness Mr. Miller is home again. It's so much more cozy at home than in prison, especially if the wife's gone for a while. "Look here, Dad, I got an idea. If I can't have Ferdinand in this world, then maybe..." "What? Suicide? No way!" "Well, I was just thinking." "No!" When Ferdinand enters in an ill temper. "Lady Milford has fled. We can marry now." To which she replies, "You can pull the other one." "Well, you did so first, didn't you? Did you write this letter?" And she looks at it and says, "Yes." And he goes, "Well then, all is said and done. I need a lemonade now. Get me one." She goes off in order to fetch him a lemonade, and he says to Miller, "Here, Mr. Town Musician, I owe you for the flute lessons." And he gives him money, and Miller looks at it and says, "That's far too much." "Well then, Mr. Miller, you can do me a little favor in return. Go to my father and tell him I will stay a little longer tonight." And Miller doesn't worry about that and goes off. Louise brings lemonade. Ferdinand diverts her for a moment and puts something in the mug. Then he takes a sip and says, "Ugh, that lemonade is flat as your soul." "Flat? Well, taste it. It tastes like shit." And she drinks. "Flat? That tastes perfect." "Ugh! Maybe it's a little over the expiry date?" "Yes, it's the arsenic that does it." "Arsenic? Poison? I'm poisoned?" "Yes." "Oh, that's so cool, because in this case I'm rid of the oath I've sworn to Wurm, and finally can tell you that I've always loved you, and your father dictated the letter I wrote." And she dies, and Ferdinand goes, "No." Miller comes back going, "No, my daughter." And the president enters, going, "Oh." And finally Wurm comes in, saying, "No, Louise." And Ferdinand goes, "Father, you're more to blame than me." And he dies. And the president goes, "Oh no, Wurm, you're more to blame than me." who says, "No, you're more to blame. No, you are more to blame," and Miller can't take it any longer and runs away. And this, dear congregation, was Intrigue and Love. Fritz Schiller says, thank you and goodbye. See you all at Doomsday. Vielen Dank.